Cigarettes.
There's nothing good back there.
Heather's arm is in motion, but she just grabs the gum off the counter.
That's a slick move.
Even Randy tips his cap to Heather. Stand Up to Cancer and Reilly wants you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. With the NFL trade deadline less than a week away, the Panthers won't be pursuing Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. Carolina's not willing to give up the 3 first-round picks Houston's looking for in a trade. Watson's facing allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate behavior in 22 civil lawsuits. Cowboys had their first practice of the week today. Quarterback Dak Prescott looked okay in the part of practice that was open to the media. Didn't show any issues with the calf strain. Went through simulated drops, threw passes without any issues to his running backs, receivers, and tight ends. Prescott should play in Minnesota Sunday, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
This is about seeding. They have an opportunity to potentially get a first-round bye. They're going to win the division. But do you want to win the division and be the 6th seed? Or do you want to win the division and be the 1st seed? He can rest when we get the bye because the injury is not that severe any damn way.
Keyshawn of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman will meet with Panthers coach Joel Quenneville tomorrow to discuss his involvement in the Blackhawks sex abuse scandal. An investigation revealed that Quenneville, Chicago's head coach at the time, was aware of the sex assault allegations back in 2010. NBA news, LeBron James out of the Lakers lineup a second straight game tonight in Oklahoma City because of a sore ankle. Center Anthony Davis, dealing with an injured knee, listed as questionable.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword money to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's money to 200-200.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene is no longer in existence. We are the Sportsocracy.
Is that the first time you've done that?
That's the first time I've done that all the way through since the rebranding on Monday. We are now the Sportsocracy. And, of course, we are in the Ingalls studio every afternoon here, 3 to 5. First hour of the program brought to you by Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings. Don't forget to get your tickets today for the Asheville Championship. We've got the 2-day November 12th, November 14th tournament coming up at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. You can get your tickets at Ingalls Supermarkets. Today, speaking of today was a very special day in the life of Jeremy Greene as he got reunited. If you have not seen the video yet.
It feels so good. If you haven't seen it, it'll play automatically after the YouTube stream today. Got reunited with my old buddy, the McRib.
Yeah.
You know what? And I've heard all these people tell me other fast food rib sandwiches are better. We're going to put that to the test. Have no fear. I'll try the others. I know how it's going to go.
I mean, you should.
I mean, I know exactly how it's going to go.
You should know how that's going to go.
Nothing can live up to the lofty expectation that the McRib has thrown out there.
Oh, God.
It's fine. You can try to perfect perfection all you want to, but
No, we had it. We had one. We had our first of the new run of the McRib sandwiches, and yeah, it's good. It's good.
I don't like your derision.
It's good.
It's okay. No, no.
Somehow I missed out on the onions on my sandwich. So
it's because they knew you were not a believer.
They knew that the one that ordered the extra pickles, he's the one that really loves the McRib. This other guy,
well, they see extra pickles and they go, that guy knows what he's doing. He's a connoisseur. This is not his first trip around the sun.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Oh, it's so good.
It's just okay.
I'll
Anyway,
be honest with you, that might be what I eat for dinner too.
I'm sure it will
I
be.
see a path.
I'm sure it will be. I can hear you getting fatter.
Who wants to tell him?
Welcome into the program here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Yes, we are streaming as well live on YouTube. So check us out, youtube.com/thesportsocracy. Everybody, welcome into the comment section. Anything you want to hear talked about, just leave us a note there in the chat, and we will work it into the schedule here. We want to talk some college football. We got big problems down in Clemson. We also will give you the update on the Deshaun Watson. Is there going to be a trade before November the 2nd?
Oh, there's a deal in place.
I know.
There's just there's kind of a hang-up with one of the stipulations.
No.
We'll talk about that
No. A hang-up with Deshaun Watson being traded somewhere? Shocker of all shockers. In the 4 o'clock hour, we will have your chew on that segment with Caleb Peak. Also, we'll talk some baseball as a good friend of mine, Mark Lemke, is going to be joining us in the 4 o'clock hour. Of course, former Atlanta Brave and Boston Red Sox for a year. But he was a champion, a World Series champion with the Atlanta Braves back in 1996. His name has been in all of the papers today as the Atlanta Braves have Jorge Soler on this hitting streak in the playoffs, and he's third all-time behind Mr. Mark Lemke for the longest hitting streak in Braves history in the postseason. So, yeah, Limmer's going to join us later on in the program to talk some baseball since Jeremy absolutely refuses.
Well, it's not that I refuse. It's just it would be a very one-sided conversation.
And one of these days, maybe we'll have some hockey on there as well. I got this big eye roll from him this morning when I was wearing my Seattle Kraken hooded sweatshirt.
You do strike me as somebody that would wear a mythical creature on your sweatshirt.
And that's fine. What's going on down in Death Valley with the Clemson Tigers? They are not good. Their offense is terrible.
They have no playmakers. I mean, Justin Ross, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing else. And now the question that we wanted to pose today is this something that Dabo's going to be able to fix? Or is this kind of what happens? Is this kind of how college football rolls?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize, and I didn't really, until I did the background on this story, do you realize just how good of a run this has actually been for Clemson?
I mean, it's been pretty good. They've been in the playoff, 5 out of 7 years or something like that?
Well, they've had 10 wins 10 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many times they've done that in program history before that?
I would say once, maybe?
7.
7
since 1902. You've done it 10 years in a row.
Oh, that they had 10 wins. They had 10 wins 7 times.
Yes.
Okay.
They've done it 10 years in a row, and now, before that, they had done it 7 times overall.
Mm-hmm.
You've done it 10 times in a row.
Yeah.
And Clemson fans seem to be losing their edge about this. Oh, we're Clemson. We expect greatness. We can't possibly just go 8 and 5.
Yeah.
We can't do that. We're Clemson.
Oh, you absolutely can. You would have been screaming for 8 and 5 back in the Tommy Bowden days.
Oh, 100% you would have.
It's wild to me how fan bases forget that. You just demand
some fan
greatness.
bases forget that. There are a lot of fan bases. We've already been through this.
Mm-hmm.
I went back 5 years. That was the first Clemson national title year. The final AP top 25. You care to take a stab at anybody that was in the top 5?
With Clemson? It'd have been Ohio State.
Nope. They were 6.
Alabama.
They were the one that Clemson beat. Name the other 3.
I don't know. LSU.
Nope. They were 13. The other
Notre
3
Dame?
were Oklahoma.
Okay.
That one makes sense. Washington and USC.
Okay.
This is the way college football works. I feel like Clemson felt like they had just slid into that Ohio State Alabama role.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. You're very much more LSU than you are Alabama. Because Alabama has one thing that you don't have.
Okay.
The greatest coach in the history of the sport.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason Ohio State has been impervious to this is because who in their conference is going to beat them? There are schools in the ACC that could be good in football. Is it going to happen year in and year out? No. Florida State had to go through this 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You had to figure out, hey, you're not quite the destination that you used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be you recruited very close to home. Now it doesn't matter. Alabama's recruiting L.A. and USC is recruiting Florida.
Mm-hmm.
None of that matters. Your location now means virtually nothing, unless you're Nebraska.
Right.
Because no 18-year-old kid wants to go hang out in the cornfields.
But you don't think – are you saying that Clemson is not in the class of Alabama and Ohio State?
I'm saying that's a class of two. And there's a third that can hang out there, but they can never really get into that class.
Okay.
Alabama and Ohio State have two great big advantages that nobody else has.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
And secret time, I hate to break this to Alabama, when Nick Saban leaves, you're going to fall right in line with everybody else.
Yeah.
Because there are so many programs in the SEC that compete at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hit every year. There's a reason we don't talk about recruiting on this show.
Because it's boring?
It's not because it's boring. It's actually it's quite interesting. The problem is that your hit rate's going to be better. You're going to be right at meteorological hit rate.
Mm-hmm.
About 35% of the time, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem that Clemson's had this year.
Yeah.
DJ Uiagalelei. He was a Heisman Trophy candidate, right?
Right.
Do you realize how many preseason Heisman Trophy candidates are now completely irrelevant? 2 of them have been benched.
Yeah.
That's of the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Another one almost got benched. And now he's arguably 1 or 2 in line. It's Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
This year's field is so bad that a kid that didn't start a game until last week is considered a top 5 candidate. That's dumb to me, but...
Caleb Williams at Oklahoma.
And sadly enough, I can't tell you you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, you're wrong. I mean, 2 games in, and you're ready to put him in the Heisman race?
I'd say there's no
say
less.
That's wrong.
If you told me how many kids actually got invited to the ceremony, and that depends on how the voting goes. And this year, I would say this is a 5, probably 5 kids make it to the Heisman ceremony. They're going to do 2, which I find highly unlikely.
Right.
But it's just the parity in the sport. If I asked 10 people that really knew this sport, hey, give me your top 5 right now, how many different teams do you think would be in it?
Oh, I would imagine there'd be 7.
10. I'd go it's no less than 10.
Really?
I could make a case for 3 different teams in the Big Ten.
Between Michigan State, Michigan, and
Ohio State.
Okay.
Oklahoma's the only representative out of the Big 12, and Oregon's the only one out of the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
I could make an argument for a series of different SEC teams.
There's 2.
There are
this
2
should be in the top 5.
Yeah. Depends on how much better you think the SEC is. For me, it's leaps and bounds.
Mm-hmm. I think for everybody it should be, but there's some people that believe that Big Ten football rules.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Oh, I know they're wrong. But there's still that belief out there because they have, 6 in the top 11?
Mm-hmm.
In the top 25?
They don't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They've started eating each other.
Right.
Which is what
going to continue
does every single year.
Which is going to continue as the season stretches on. I don't know, this thought that, look, Clemson's having a tough year. I get it. The offense is not good. You lost a lot last year with Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. You had high hopes that Justin Ross coming back and DJ Uiagalelei, who threw for 400 yards against Notre Dame last year, was going to be that guy week in and week out. Guess what? He's not. You lost some talent on your offensive line. How many guys on the defensive side of the ball? Though the defensive side of the ball is not really the big problem for Clemson.
No, but this week it could be a problem. You're missing 2 of your starting interior linemen this week against a team that runs really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who's that team again?
Who are they playing? Florida State?
I can't find my bell. I got too many things happening over here.
Did you lose? So you lost your cough drops this morning. Now you've lost the bell.
I found
Why don't you
those.
check the place where you found the cough drops? Maybe that's where the bell is.
That could be. Oh, there's my bell. I found it.
Good for you. Clemson's having a down year. I don't know that I'm ready. I don't know that anybody should be ready to take them out of that hierarchy. I mean, 10 years and 10 wins a season. That, to me, that puts you in the category. You said Alabama's got a great advantage over them. They got the greatest coach in college football. Okay, yeah, Nick Saban, greatest coach in college football history. I mean, how far behind is Dabo Swinney?
Quite a ways.
Yeah, but he's next on the list, ain't he?
Of in college football right now?
Yeah.
I would say no.
Who would be number 2 to you?
Lincoln Riley.
Okay. I mean, he's up there, but I would put Dabo at 2.
Well, here's the thing. Dabo Swinney is much closer to Lincoln Riley than he is to Nick Saban.
Yes. No question. And Kirby Smart's in that discussion as well.
For posterity's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I already gave you 5 years ago. Here's what it looked like 10 years ago. This is your final AP top 10. Auburn was the national champion.
Mm-hmm.
They're a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you could see them coachless very soon.
Right. They were a disaster shortly after Cam Newton left.
That's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 in that poll, TCU. They're the 6th best team in the Big 12 right now, at best.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of Stanford, Wisconsin, LSU, Boise State, Nevada. That was just 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the programs I just said won't even be bowl eligible this year. And this is something you have to wrap your head around with where the state of college football is right now. This thought that you're going to go 12 years in a row with 10 straight wins, it's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Can Saban do it? Yeah, Saban's a different animal. Name me another school that's impervious to it.
There's not.
If the bottom of the Big Ten wasn't so bad, Ohio State would be in the same spot you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first 4 weeks of the season, a high-level mid-major team would have given them a real legitimate run for their money. They got lucky that their schedule is a joke, and they only got caught once.
Well, they get propped up by the fact that they have to play 7 real teams. Or, I mean, they have to play 3 real teams every year. The rest of that schedule is a whole bunch of Nebraska, Northwestern, on and on, Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So Ohio State, yeah, gets propped up by where they are. I would say the same thing about Oklahoma. I don't think year in and year out the Big 12 is really knocking down the door.
Well, that problem's going to be rectified real soon.
What do you mean?
When they wind up in the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
There's no more propping up of Oklahoma. And that's kind of the full circle of this argument.
Okay.
When you add Oklahoma and Texas, I'm not 100% sure that Alabama can keep this up. First of all, Saban's, got 4 years left? At best.
Somewhere in there.
He's not one of those guys that I thought was going to coach until he was 90.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when he leaves? Oh, Dabo takes that job. Well, you've thought that one time before. Alabama went down the same path one time before, where we know exactly who the next coach will be, and it wasn't.
Who was that?
Bobby Bowden.
Oh,
that was back in the 80s.
When was that? I was going to say, when was that? I don't remember that.
Yeah, and he would have taken the job, and I can't remember who. I think that's when they hired Gene Stallings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good job on that one, by the way. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Gave me a lot of childhood happiness.
I just remember when I was growing up, Alabama wasn't really a thing. Like, you heard of how great Alabama was.
When we were markedly younger. Then we just so happened to grow up during a lull.
Right.
Alabama had been a premier program forever.
Mm-hmm.
The point of what I'm trying to say is that you've got 40 programs now that have vaguely the same amount of money. You're not going to be infallible. You're not.
Right.
Especially with the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. That's going to make this exponentially worse.
And NIL. We haven't seen that really rear its head yet.
And I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's just there's a benefit to that actually might mitigate some of this. There are certain places that you're going to be more profitable than you would be in other places.
No doubt.
And they're not exactly who you would think it would be either.
Mm-hmm.
See, I think NIL deals, that benefits a Clemson or an Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't so much benefit a Miami or a USC.
I don't know about that.
Nobody cares.
There's a lot of businesses.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The one time in the last 30 years that USC's been a premier school, it's because the Lakers sucked, the Clippers sucked, the Dodgers were terrible. There was nothing out there. They were the only team in town.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have too much to contend with. In big cities, these college athletes are not big draws. In L.A., you've got LeBron and Mookie Betts and Matthew Stafford. And, I mean, you keep doing that for quite some time.
Yeah.
At Clemson, you have the quarterback and the receiver.
Right.
That's the draw.
And the running back.
I mean, you can do that for a while.
One,
you get to the punter before you get to anything else.
Right.
But even then, you're competing with so many different programs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that got me thinking about this is rank Auburn nationally right now. Where does that program fall in nationally right now?
God, I'd say they're probably top 40.
That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn, this premier, it's in the top 40, and that's exactly the same number that I had.
Mm-hmm.
How much difference Clemson than Auburn, really?
Oh, I would say that there's a market difference between
Historically, there's not. Historically, Auburn's way better. Way better. Not even close better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard all this gnashing of teeth of, oh, what are we doing? How did we get here? Really? That's your take for after this, the greatest run in your program's history by 10 times is, well, how did we get here? Well, because you lost 12 draft-eligible players last year. That's how you got here.
Yeah.
And you can't keep doing that.
No, but it's not like it's over.
No, I'm not saying it's over. I'm saying you need to get really comfortable with the fact Clemson's going to be one of those teams that does this every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to – the good times are not just going to keep rolling. And I can give you a slew of examples of teams that would have thought it was going to go on forever.
Right.
And we'll do that right after this break.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube. Join the stream now at youtube.com/thesportsocracy.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front bringing rain for the end of the business week. Partly cloudy skies for us here this evening and tonight. Cool clouds will increase late as temperatures drop down into low 40s. Rain, cooler and bit breezy as we head through the day Thursday. Temperatures tomorrow reaching highs in the low to mid 50s. More rain Thursday night, upper 40s. Cloudy and cool Friday with scattered showers. Highs Friday, mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday shoppers wherever they go. Use iHeart Ad Builder to create an affordable custom radio ad right on your phone. Just click, listen, approve, then hear it on the radio. Create your customized ad today at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Family farmers can grow all the most wonderful products that they want to, but it's the valued partnership and love from people like Ingalls that keeps our farming going.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Cheez-It crackers, 2 for $4. Select varieties 23 to 24 ounce Prego pasta sauce, 2 for $3. And select 5 to 8 ounce Sargento shredded cheese, 2 for $4. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture yourself at DQ on Thursday, October 28th for Miracle Treat Day. You roll up to order a Blizzard with your friends and family like you have so many times before. But on this day, every flavor comes with a much-needed dose of hope. For every Blizzard you buy at participating locations, $1 or more will be donated to your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give hope to kids in your community. Thursday, October 28th at DQ.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg and cheese, or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, the Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
I'm Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green's alongside. We are in the Sportsocracy. Welcome in to the program. We're talking college football, and we are streaming on YouTube, youtube.com/thesportsocracy. You can join the conversation right now. And Patrick Holt said that he believes that Dave Clawson should be the coach of the year this year.
And I wouldn't disagree with him.
To have Wake Forest as a top 15 team in the country is an achievement. And you're right, Patrick. It is an achievement. However, I would just urge you to look at the teams that Wake Forest has played.
Hey, they just played the greatest. They played the best game all year against Army. At least it was the most fun to watch.
Right. 70 points scored in that one. You know,
there were 126 points scored in that one. They scored.
No, I'm
70.
saying by them. Yeah, they scored 70 points. And I mean, it is an achievement. It is an achievement to have Wake Forest in the top 15. But they're 7-0, and they really haven't beaten anybody that makes you go, oh, yeah, they're a great team.
They haven't beat. They don't have a high water victory, I suppose.
Right. Strength of schedule speaking.
It's probably not good.
No. I mean, I've seen 2 different lists. One had them at 47, and here's another one that has them at 76.
I mean, their best win's Virginia, and I don't think it's really all that close.
Strength of schedule sits right around Washington, Georgia State, Army, Boston College, East Carolina.
We have a poll rolling right now on our YouTube feed, by the way. What age is it socially acceptable to wear a backpack?
Oh.
Mark Davis wore a backpack today at a press conference, basically asking for the NFL to release the Washington football
wait.
emails.
Wait.
Mark Davis.
The walking Chucky doll.
Yeah, and he was wearing a starter jacket. He actually looked like a child from about 1994.
What's up, fellow teenagers? How you doing?
I mean, possibly a teenager that had been put into a what is that thing they take the juice out of fruit?
Right.
A dehumidifier. What are those things called? The thing you put fruit in and it turns it into like a prune.
A dehydrator?
Dehydrator.
Yeah.
That's the word, not a dehumidifier. Don't put fruit in your dehumidifier.
It's not a dehumidifier, no. I love your choices here, too.
Well, it's under 10, 11 to 18, or it's not okay.
What about college students? College students don't get to carry backpacks?
Look, I mean, people tell me I carry a purse all the time. I carry a lap bag.
A what?
It's what it's called. It's a lap bag. It's a briefcase with a handle on it that goes over your shoulder. Indiana Jones carried one. Okay, leave me alone.
Yeah, but he ran away from giant boulders and stuff.
Yeah, and you showed up in the studio today wearing a shirt with an octopus on it. Okay, so I don't need you to give me the...
It's not an octopus. It's a kraken. It's much different than a kraken.
Same
thing. Look, nobody's basing their fashion sense on what I wear.
I didn't need you to finish that statement before. Correct.
T-shirts, jerseys, shorts, pants.
You are a grown
blue
man.
Jeans.
You are a grown man that wears jerseys to work. So.
I do. I have the greatest job on the planet.
Well, yeah, we do.
So it's fine. And you know what? Name's on the door. Name's on the door. You can't tell me what to wear, boss man.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, we were talking about college football and the string that Clemson has been on here with 10 wins in 10 years, and you say this is all, cyclical? Is that where you were going with that?
My point is that you're not going to be dominant forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to me like Clemson has this, over the course of the last decade, it seems like they've forgotten the course of the last 4 decades before that. You're just not going to be good forever.
No.
Look at Florida State. Look at Texas. Look at USC. I mean, UCLA was never great, but look at the last 25 years for UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
There's no team that is just year in and year out fantastic unless they're coached by Nick Saban or Ohio State. And I would say Ohio State's run could very easily be coming to an end.
Right.
Simply because Michigan team's good.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I cannot remember what that freshman quarterback's name is. Why he's not playing, I have no idea.
Cade McNamara?
No, Cade McNamara is the upperclassman. There's a 5-star freshman that is shoe buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time he touches the ball, I'm like, good gracious, that could just go to the barn.
Right.
I want to see him play against Ohio State. Solely because I don't want to see Ohio State beat Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the carnage. I want to see everybody lose. Everybody has a loss. Now what do we do?
You just want mass chaos.
I want to see a 2-loss team make it and Cincinnati not, just so I can look at their fans and go, told you.
Told you so.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
All right, this is an update to a Just a Bit Outside story we brought to you, I think it was back in the summer, when the Cleveland Guardians, formerly the Cleveland Indians, decided that they are going to ditch the Native American imagery and they are going to become the Cleveland Guardians starting next year. Well, do you remember that there was another team named the Cleveland Guardians in that city? It was the roller derby team. The roller derby team that called themselves the Cleveland Guardians. They did for a long time, for several years, before the decision was made by the baseball team. And we do not have a resolution. Remember we were talking about what would it cost? What could the Cleveland Guardians baseball team give to the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team to make this go away? The fact that there is a trademark issue for the name? Well, apparently the negotiations did not go well. There has been a federal lawsuit filed that is the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team. It's Guardians Roller Derby v. Cleveland Guardians Baseball Company, LLC. And it doesn't say what they want out of the lawsuit other than
$100 billion.
Right. But what the story does say is that back in April, so April 8th, there was a trademark application made by the baseball team for the Cleveland Guardians name. Problem is that they did it in a way that seems very, very suspicious Now, you would think that you would file this with, like, the trademark office in Washington, D.C., and I don't know if it works like the Federal Reserve, like they have trademark offices all over the country that you can just, use your local one. Maybe there's an Ohio trademark office. No, they filed it in the East African island nation of Mauritius. That's where they filed their trademark claim for the Cleveland Guardians, knowing, I guess, that it would be easily found that there's some kind of a friction here, that this name is already taken if they filed it in the United States. So they filed it outside of the country in Mauritius, which I had to look up how to say it because I didn't even know that existed. And then they got in contact with the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team in June and said, hey, we want this name. Here's what we're willing to offer you.
Is it more than what the guy that got Tom Brady's 600th touchdown ball got?
I'm going to say it was.
We'll give you 2 jerseys and a Mike Evans helmet and $1,000 to our team store. And you're still overpaying for that stupid name.
Well, Gary Sweat, the owner of the roller derby team, says that he offered to sell the intellectual property and rename his own squad, but asked the baseball team to make the offer. He said that offer was nominal and exceedingly low.
If it was $500, you should have run the opposite direction.
The lawsuit alleges that Sweat made a counter offer, but never heard back from the team. So what I have in my mind is he said, I will sell you the intellectual property. And they said, well, you're a roller derby team that, 28 people know about? By the way, they own the clevelandguardians.com website. There had not been a post on it in 3 years until the day after the announcement had been made that the Cleveland baseball team was changing their name to the Guardians, and then they made a big post that said, hey, we already own this. This is 3 years. So I guess as the baseball team would figure, they're not using this. So what's the problem? Well, he wants much more. I imagine that he said, I'll sell you the intellectual property, and the baseball team said something similar. Well, we'll give you season tickets for everybody on the team. How about that? And he went, no, I want
$10 million.
I want $1.6 million.
$11 billion.
And the baseball team just went delete on that email.
Or no.
The lawyers for the Cleveland Guardians roller derby team says, look, it would never be allowed for a roller derby team or a soccer team or anything to go into, they used Chicago, for example. You wouldn't allow another sports team to name yourselves the Chicago Cubs. You couldn't, have a base be any different for Major League Baseball to be able to set up a new team and take another team's name. We will keep you updated on what the lawsuit says. I got a feeling, though, this is one of those examples where little old roller derby guy, the scrappy underdog, is not going to win this fight.
Yeah, I don't like your chances. The more time has gone on, the more I've realized that I think Lane Kiffin and I might be the same person.
Okay.
Asked if he had any thoughts on the matchup in the World Series at his weekly press conference Monday, Kiffin paused and said, and I quote, I'm not just saying this so I can sound like a cool coach that's dedicated to his football program. I don't know who's playing in the World Series. As laughter broke, Kiffin said, but I think a lot of coaches say that so they can be like, I don't leave my office. The interaction here was hilarious because there's no way Lane Kiffin didn't understand this. But the reporter told him that it's the Braves and the Astros. The Dodgers had a chance. To which he responded, oh, it's not the finals yet. First of all, the fact you called the World Series the finals makes me laugh a lot. It is the World Series. Kevin responded but that would be 2 teams. You told me 3. Reporter said the Dodgers were eliminated by the Braves. He said, thank you. You gave me 3. I was very confused. I didn't even know who was in the semis or whatever you call it. I read this entire thing going, okay, so Lane Kiffin and I are more alike than I thought we were. Because that's exactly what I would do. If you asked me some stupid question like that in a press conference, I would have answered the dumbest thing humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you like in the World Series? I'll take the Los Angeles Lakers. Is that a thing?
The Seattle Kraken. I hear they're pretty good.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights. Average Joe's Gymnasium. Are they in it?
By the way, update on a poll here. The 67% of the respondents on the YouTube channel say that it is okay, socially acceptable to wear a backpack between the ages of 11 and 18.
Yeah, so 706, which is what Mark Davis is, we're saying that was weird.
That's weird. That's absolutely weird.
Apparently, Ian Rappaport took great umbrage with the insinuation that adults can't wear backpacks.
Adam Black said,
I don't care if you wear one or not. I'm just, at what age, you can't possibly look at this picture and not go, that looks weird. Why are you being weird? I don't like it. At what age do you do that?
Right. Adam Black says you'd think that the Indians PR team would have Googled the Cleveland Guardians.
Well, here's the thing. I can tell you as somebody that's named a couple things, including this here program, you do.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes sometimes you make a judgment call. Like, they haven't done anything in years.
Right.
By the way, they will win this suit.
No
the guy
doubt.
that owns Cleveland, no, it's not even, they've got more money. No, once you let something sit dead for
But
there's not really a time frame.
But here's the thing.
You weren't doing anything with it. You can't just nest on things.
Yeah, but how do you qualify or quantify dead? They were still playing games.
Was it trademarked? The answer is no.
I think they had a claim in.
Okay, you had a claim in. When was it filed? Prove it. It's very expensive to trademark things. Very expensive. Now, if you're actively using something, then there are rules for that. That somebody can't just swoop in and go, you couldn't afford to trademark it, so now I can do it.
Right.
Now, if you don't have something trademarked and you just kind of let it die, you don't get to keep that name forever.
Right. I mean, they were playing games under this name for years. It was just their website hadn't been updated.
Well,
so does that really matter? I mean, how many hits could they have? Their website was probably built by Angel Fire anyway.
Used with an AOL.com email address.
Right. Administrator, Cleveland Guardians at netzero.com.
He still used the CD to put the software on his computer.
Those were the days, weren't it?
I think that's when you stopped learning new computer things.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's about when you went, all right, I'm good.
Stephen Tao says, does that mean that I can go to a car lot somewhere and if the car's been sitting there long enough, I can just claim it?
No, it's completely different.
Don't do crime, Stephen.
Yeah, nobody trademarked a car. That's not how that works. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure the cars are trademarked. Aren't they
not
intellectual property? Okay. I'm sorry. I know. I shouldn't have done it. I had to do it.
There are days that I'm like, I'm starting to age at a weird rate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to think I know why.
Is it my fault?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say you have a role.
Well.
There are days that I think you just walk in here and go, how can I make that vein in his forehead protrude?
I've said that many times.
I'm sure
that is my goal on the day.
I am sure you have.
You've heard me say it. You've been sitting right there when I said it. Yeah. Anyway.
But hey, we will have baseball discussed on this show today.
Yes, we will. We will. Got Mark Lemke coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. I got to send him a text message in here just a little bit to find out exactly when I can nail him down. He's a busy guy.
Especially during the World Series and the Braves are in it.
Oh, yeah.
We're very thankful he's willing to come on this here program.
Absolutely. He's doing me a solid. And, 1996 World Series champion Mark Lemke will be joining us in the 4 o'clock hour to talk about the Braves and their big win over the Houston Astros in Game 1 of the World Series last night.
And by the way, here's as much baseball analysis as you will ever get from me.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Morton's my new favorite baseball player ever.
As he should
when
be.
When you get 3 outs on a broken leg, you are a bad dude.
Yeah. The ball gets hit back to him. It hits his leg. It hurts. He gets 2 outs. Then they go into the dugout. He goes in the back, has an x-ray, and they're like, nah, it's all right. He comes back out, pitches one batter, gets that out, and then it broke. Is that on the x-ray techs? Whoever's in charge of that to be like, you should have seen that there was something wrong there. Hairline fracture, something. I'm not saying Charlie Morton's going to make a deal about it. Of course it is. It just goes to show you not all current athletes are soft. Although Charlie Morton is 50 years old, so maybe he does come from a little bit of a different era than many of the current baseball players. But absolutely, I mean, last night was fantastic. They got all the hits that they needed to win 6-2. Game 2's tonight. You'll hear it right here on ESPN Asheville at 7 o'clock. Now, Deshaun Watson. Actually, let's hold on to this for the 4 o'clock hour. Yeah. We'll do the update on Deshaun Watson coming up after we talk baseball. This is about as fluid as
any situation I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's evolving at every turn. It looks like the Carolina Panthers are out. There could be a deal in place with the Miami Dolphins, but they're just hung up on that one little thing.
They need this one thing to happen.
That one little thing is holding up the deal, and yeah, it doesn't quite look like it's going to go down. Tomorrow night we got Thursday night football. We get the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. We haven't heard any more updates out of Green Bay, so I'm hoping that the coronavirus spread, I guess you can call it, is going to be limited to just Davante Adams and Allen Lazard, and they're not going to lose anybody else for the game. I mean, they were, like I said this morning, they're probably going to lose anyway. So, yeah, why not? I mean, I guess it's fortunate. It's a great fortune that this happened this week and not against a team that you should have beaten.
They would have been more competitive. I'm afraid tomorrow night's going to go rather sideways.
And I think that's fine. I honestly believe that's fine. Like I said, you're going to lose anyway. Are you going to think differently of the Green Bay Packers if they lose this game without their star wide receiver and without his backup? I'm not.
I think this game would have been good, would have been competitive, and Green Bay could have won this game.
Mm-hmm.
With no Davante Adams, you have no shot.
I agree. Now, what happens if it's close? Are you going to think less of the Arizona Cardinals?
No, because I'll be honest with you. I've looked up and down the Green Bay roster trying to figure out exactly what this game plan is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Could I see somebody coming out of nowhere? Amari Rodgers has, or it's not Amari Rodgers, isn't? Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Amari Rodgers, yeah. He plays for them.
Has some huge game.
Right.
Could I see that? Sure. I think it's more likely you're going to hand the ball off about 45 times. And Aaron Jones has a huge game, and A.J. Dillon's good.
I mentioned to you earlier today that if it were me, if I were Matt LaFleur, I would be splitting out Aaron Jones as a wide receiver.
They'll do that some. That's not a.
You put A.J. Dillon in there to do the dirty work and use Aaron Jones as a wide receiver. Slot guy, something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not really a long-term solution. Can you do that on some place? Sure. But, I mean, Aaron Jones is a good receiving running back. He's not a slot receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's taking one of the few pieces that you have and going, hey, you want to do something that you're not good at? Let's do that. That's a grand idea.
I mean, I don't know that I would try to hit him. I would try to use him as the downfield threat.
Oh,
but I don't see why that's not
line up out wide.
Yeah, that wouldn't be an. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
I would say it's probably 8 to 10 snaps of this game.
Mm-hmm.
The bad thing is I think your defense is going to get completely exposed. Because I don't like the chances of you having a lot of grinded out drives, which is going to put your defense on the field a lot, and Arizona can absolutely take advantage of that.
You think they're going to try to grind it out? keep the defense on the field?
No, I think they're just going to try to run up and down the field.
See, that's what I think happens.
And that's probably how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm. The game plan for Green Bay should be, I don't know, just ground and pound. Just try to chew clock. Hope that you can stay in it.
Yeah, that's not quite going to work. When you have nothing on the outside that scares me, okay, cool. Try to do that. I'll stack 8 in the box. Good luck.
I think you're underselling Equanimous St. Brown.
I'm not.
You're not. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. How'd your green on green picks go last night? You lost 2 of them?
Yeah, I did. By 2 points total.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Golden State.
It stinks, doesn't it? Stinks when you lose games by 2 points.
Hashtag Jets +7.
We'll have your green on green and your monkey knife fight plays of the night coming up next.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
The Breast Cancer Research Foundation, the highest-rated breast cancer organization in the U.S., is committed to being the end of breast cancer by advancing the world's most promising research. At BCRF, we know that research saves lives. Since 1993, BCRF scientists have been involved in every major breakthrough in breast cancer research. Visit bcrfcure.org to learn how you can be part of the next breakthrough and be the end of breast cancer.
There's a hot new podcast we think you'll like. Variety's Strictly Business. Hear candid conversations about business deals, strategy, and the future of media and entertainment from industry A-listers. Hosted by Variety business editor Cynthia Littleton and co-editor-in-chief Andrew Wallenstein. And once a month, executive editor of music Shirley Halperin will join the conversation to discuss the business of music. Listen to Strictly Business on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways for children of all ages to learn about sustainability and environmental education at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Heard you're buying a car. I brought my calculator.
Dad, I already used Capital One Auto Navigator. I found my car online and got pre-qualified instantly, instead of all that.
You know those things impact your credit score.
Didn't impact my credit score, Dad. Now I'm going to the dealership for a test drive and to make the purchase.
Sounds too easy.
No, it's just easy. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at CapitalOne.com/Auto Navigator.
DQ presents. Picture this. Picture yourself at DQ on Thursday, October 28th for Miracle Treat Day. You roll up to order a blizzard with your friends and family like you have so many times before. But on this day, every flavor comes with a much-needed dose of hope. For every blizzard you buy at participating locations, $1 or more will be donated to your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give hope to kids in your community. Thursday, October 28th at DQ.
Be the one.
Howell, first down and more. Goodbye. Magical play by Sam Howell. And it's intercepted. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win. Light that bell tower blue.
Carolina ventures north to face Notre Dame on Saturday. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7:30. Right here on your home for Carolina football.
The Tar Heels play here.
This is ESPN Asheville.
Coffee's the closers only. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
1-2 last night, but I may quite possibly have the easiest cinch, no doubt money bet in the history of time for the NBA tonight. That's the last pick of this. I got 3 NBA picks. The first one, the Indiana Pacers are a 1.5-point dog tonight at Toronto. You remember when I said Indiana wasn't a very good team? Well, they're not, but neither is Toronto. Toronto has virtually nothing. When I saw this line, I went, hey, you said Indiana plus or minus 7.5 wrong. I think this line's like 8 points off. I'm taking Indiana to not just cover this. They're going to cover it easy. Indiana plus the 1.5, I'll take them in the money line. Miami is a 3.5-point dog tonight at Brooklyn. Miami is really, really, really good. And Brooklyn just looks a little bit off. With no Kyrie Irving, there's something about his offense that I just don't like. And I think a good defensive team like Miami is going to give them headaches. I'm taking Miami. There's another one I'd take in the money line. Give me Miami plus the 3.5. Finally, the Los Angeles Lakers are a 4.5-point favorite tonight at Oklahoma City. I want you to think about what I just said. Oh, LeBron's not playing. That's actually a positive. That means Russell Westbrook, in a revenge game, by the way, can do what he does best. I still have Russell Westbrook. I still have Anthony Davis. And now everybody can do what it is that they want to do. This line movement's stupid. Give me the Lakers minus 4.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
It's weird how that works. Russell Westbrook, no LeBron, and Russell Westbrook and AD, they just find a way to, they combined for like 70 last night.
Yeah, the line has gone down 6 points since it came out LeBron wasn't going to play. That's dumb.
Yeah.
That line shouldn't have moved. If anything, it should have gone up.
Right. They haven't shown that they could play together yet, all three of them at the same time. I mean, we went through this with the Nets last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird.
You have Kent Bazemore as the third instead of LeBron. Everything just works better. BetUs.com, promo code SPORTSOCRACY, 125% deposit match. Play that and play it aggressively.
All right, the Monkey Knife Fight play of the night. Daily fantasy sports props can be found at monkeyknifefight.com. Create your account today. Use the promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, and they will match your initial investment up to $50 and give you a $5 free play.
I am playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier between the Atlanta Hawks and the New Orleans Pelicans. With no Zion Williamson, I'm all over Brandon Ingram, so I'm more than 24.5 points for him. I don't see anybody stopping Trae Young, so I'm more than 25.5 points for him. That will turn your $20 investment and turn it into a $66 prize.
You're in the Sportsocracy with me, Tank Spencer, him, Jeremy Greene, Mark Lemke. In 1996, World Series champion with the Atlanta Braves will join us next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front bringing rain for the end of the business week. Partly cloudy skies for us here this evening and tonight. Cool clouds will increase late as temperatures drop down into low 40s. Rain, cooler and bit breezy as we head through the day Thursday. Temperatures tomorrow reaching highs in the low to mid 50s. More rain Thursday night, upper 40s. Cloudy and cool Friday with scattered showers. Highs Friday, mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Connect has the tech and tools you need. Now get up to $170 off select PCs like the Lenovo IdeaPad 5i with Intel i7 processor. Explore more in-store or staplesconnect.com. In-store only offer ends 10/30, limit 2. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
Friday, October 29th. Don't miss Columbia, Nashville recording artist Cameron Marlowe, home of Silverado's outdoor stage. Tickets at silveradoswnc.com. North Carolina native Cameron Marlowe, live in Black Mountain at Silverado's. Get your tickets today at silveradoswnc.com. Don't miss Cameron Marlowe, Friday, October 29th.
Liberty. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hear that? That's the sound of a man guarding his home around the clock.
Because he has 24/7 professional monitoring from SimpliSafe Home Security. With 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe keeps watch night and day. If there's trouble, SimpliSafe alerts them and will dispatch emergency help when needed. Protect your home and your sleep. Take 30% off a new system at simplisafe.com today.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Unlikely to play tomorrow night against the unbeaten Cardinals, considering he still needs 2 negative COVID-19 tests 24 hours apart. Receiver Alan Lazard out because he's unvaccinated and couldn't be cleared in time to play, both on the COVID-19 list. In the part of the Cowboys practice that was open to the media today, quarterback Dak Prescott did not show any ill effects of his calf strain. 3 passes without any issues to running backs, receivers, and tight ends. Cowboys can make a couple of game plan tweaks for Dak to play and lower the risk that he doesn't aggravate the injury, explains 2-time Super Bowl champ and ManningCast co-host Eli Manning.
So you limit some of the things that might, be bothering it, whether that's, some bootlegs or he might not run as much and do the sprints, or if it's more shotgun. So you can work around the game plan a little bit and still be successful and kind of hide the injury.
Eli Manning on Greene with Mike Greenberg. NHL Lightning star forward Nikita Kucherov out 8 to 10 weeks after surgery on an unspecified lower body injury.
Introducing ATG by Wrangler. We are all greater outdoors, and this apparel doesn't compromise, conform, or call it quits. So, when you're heading into the wild, wearing ATG should be second nature. Shop Wrangler.com today.
This could be a lost season.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword BAG to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's BAG to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene with you here in the Ingalls studio. As always, the second hour of the program brought to you by Wicked Weed Brewing, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different, the Atlanta Braves in the World Series against the Houston Astros. Thankfully, I did not put the jinx on them. Everybody knows I'm a big Boston Red Sox fan, and I said the Red Sox and the Braves are going to face off in the World Series, and right as soon as I said it, they didn't win another game. Not one single game after I said it. Now, thankfully, the Braves were not KO'd by me, but joining us here on the Sportsocracy, Mark Lemke, 1996 World Series champion of the Atlanta Braves. Mark, how's it going, man?
Good afternoon, guys. It's going great. As you could imagine, obviously, the buzz in Atlanta is crazy. Back to the World Series after, what, a 22-year hiatus?
Yeah, it definitely has been a long time. And Mark and I worked together for the Atlanta Braves radio network back in 2005. It was a fun little run. Unfortunately, I think I was the kiss of death for the Braves that year, because that was the year that the big streak of all of the AL East championships came to an end. But since then, it's been up and down for the Atlanta Braves. But as you said, finally back in the World Series. Tell us from your experience, been to the World Series with the Braves before, what is this like for the guys right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tank. I mean, just like you said right there, anything you do, you make a phone call, you put your socks, everybody thinks, oh, did that jinx the series? Did this do it? Did I jinx the series? So right now it's an exciting time, and the guys are just, they're probably being overwhelmed. It's so much more attention than just a regular season game. But there's great storylines. You mentioned that one with Boston. That would have been a great storyline. The Braves played Milwaukee this year. A lot of it, you think about Hank Aaron. Now you look at the storyline with Houston and Atlanta. You got Dusty Baker, a guy that was on deck when Hank broke Babe Ruth's record.
Right.
You've got Brian Snitker's son as the hitting coach for Houston. And there's so many great storylines. This is a very exciting time for both organizations, obviously for the Atlanta Braves.
Well, we know that everybody is rooting for the Braves that lives outside of Houston. I mean, you know, the whole cheating scandal, trash cans. I've seen so many posts about go Braves, beat the Trastros, and all of that. How much of an affront to baseball do you think that the Houston Astros are right now?
You know, personally, I don't think it like that myself, but it could be. I mean, they went out in the field in Fenway Park, and I believe the fans were chanting cheaters, I think.
Which is interesting.
Interesting because the manager of the Red Sox was with that Houston team, so I don't really know. I do remember back in my playing days when we played in Houston, and those were the days when TBS was all over the place. Houston used to have an enormous amount of Atlanta Braves fans. I mean, they would come out to the ballpark. You'd almost think it was a home game for us. So maybe times have changed. It's been a while, but, it's obviously a different place, a different stadium. But I don't think anybody thinks about it. You know, when you see a team, one way or the other, especially nowadays, get really hot and they start piling on some runs, first thing that comes to anybody's thought is, do they have the signs? Do they know what's coming? And I think everybody now just always thinks that way because of that little scandal.
Right. Yeah, I still don't know what to think about it. And part of me thinks, like, you know, there was some dust up, in the last series, or I guess it was the divisional series of the White Sox were saying that the Astros were still trying to steal signs and stuff. I can't put any stock into that because I don't think they could be that stupid.
I totally agree.
Right.
I can say this much from my experience when I first got into the game, and obviously we didn't have iPads like they all got now on the bench and technology. You always try to get an advantage, and that's why you give signs and mix them all up, because you know the other team's trying to steal your signs. And if the other team does it, you tip their hat because you weren't how would we say this, secretive enough to mix up your signs or whatnot. But when you use technology to steal signs, I think that's where people say that crosses the line. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now, I remember times where we always tried to pick up little indicators. Did a pitcher hold his glove here when he came to the set? Did he throw a breaking ball when he moved his hand? You know, when Tom Glavine and those guys threw changeups, they used to always fan their gloves. So I'll never forget, Tom Glavine just started doing it on every pitch because he knew hitters would see that, and so it was giving away his changeup. So to counter it, he just did it on every pitch, so they never knew.
Yeah.
So it's always been part of the game. Using technology is where they really cross the line, in my opinion.
I would agree. You can go a step too far. And anyway, that to me, it's in the past. I'm over it. As a baseball fan, I'm just completely over it, and I'm trying to enjoy this for what it is. To me, I get it that the players are still the same for the Houston Astros, and a lot of people are mad that they didn't get any punishment from the whole cheating scandal. But at this point, I think again, this is still a super talented group of guys that have now proven that they can get here without cheating. And so I would like for us to put this all to rest because, you know, the Atlanta Braves, I hope are gonna be able to put them in their place and get another World Series championship here, as I know that you hope they do as well. Last night, let's talk about last night's game. The Braves win 6-2. The Bats showed up. Eddie Rosario, he's getting close to getting close to you on the hit streak here.
I think he's already surpassed me. He's gone a little above and beyond that. He's into Javi Lopez type territory, where he's not only having a good postseason, he's hitting home runs, driving in runs, getting clutch hits. He's been incredible. And, you know, he's a guy, even to myself, not really that well known. And I pull up his stats. I knew he was with Minnesota prior to going to Cleveland. and then came over to Atlanta Braves while he was injured. But I looked at those numbers in Minnesota, and I said to myself, this guy's not a fluke. This is not a fluke. He may not be well known because he was playing up there in Minnesota, but this guy's a really good player.
Oh, absolutely. And he's up to an 11-game hit streak in the Braves postseason here. Only 2 guys sit in front of him. Marquise Grissom, he's got the longest hit streak in the postseason, 95-96, 15 straight games with a hit. And in 1996, Mark Lemke with 13-game hit streak in the postseason. So, he's...
I didn't know that, Tank. I really didn't know that.
That's what I'm saying. He's creeping up on you for number 2 on the list. And I know I know in your heart of hearts that you hope he surpasses you as he can help lead these guys. But I mean, he's one of the guys that they picked up at midseason. Somebody mentioned in the comments, Stephen Tao mentioned in our comment thread here on YouTube that it's a shame that Ronald Acuna couldn't be around for this. I buried him. I thought when Acuna got hurt, it was over. There was no hope for the Atlanta Braves. And then they go out and they get Eddie Rosario and Jorge Soler and picked up Jock Peterson as well. Snicker has done a great job. He's done Adam Duvall as well. He's done a great job with this team, and it's just been next man up.
It's been incredible because I'm with you. And you can write a team off not because you're disappointed in the team or you think they didn't play well. You just say to yourself, you lose Mike Soroka, Ozuna, Acuna. Hey, most teams don't survive that. We all know that. You can try to replace them, but there's no replacing a Ronald Acuna. There's no replacing a Mike Soroka. You can try to patch up some wounds, but these guys that Alex Anthopoulos had brought in has been incredible. Every single one of them has done their part. And then you look at what they traded to get Eddie Rosario. They traded Pablo Sandoval. And you look at, all right, the whole mixture of Pablo Sandoval, maybe not great numbers, but early in the season, he won like 3 or 4 games from him.
Oh, yeah, he was popping it.
Everybody played a part. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And further down the amazing trail was last night Charlie Morton breaking his leg and still being able to pitch 3 batters, and then of course the pain got too much that the leg finally did break from the fracture or whatever, as he got that comebacker to the mound from Gurriel. Talk about the grit in that. I mean, that is old school baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that. Reminds you a little bit of the bloody sock of Kurt Schilling, but Charlie Morton is been outstanding. He might have been around. Was he around during that 2005 season? He might have been with the Braves. I'm so happy for him to come back and enjoy this moment with the Atlanta Braves, and hopefully, the team brings home a championship. He will not be able to participate. And I just saw somewhere where they did replace him on the roster. I did not see who was going to replace him.
Yeah, with Tyler Davidson, I think was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or Taylor Davidson.
I didn't.
Something like that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Tucker Davidson. I knew it was a T name. Tucker Davidson is who has replaced him on the roster.
Yeah. So, I love Charlie. He's been a great pitcher for a long time, and but it's sad to see that his World Series and season is over.
Right.
After the first game, after a few innings, basically.
Right. I love the story too that apparently in the locker room after the game he was apologizing to everybody, like it was somehow his fault that he wasn't able to get out of the way of the ball or anything like that. I mean, did you play with players that were like that were just apologetic for things that were out of their control, but they still felt like they let the team down?
Yeah, I don't know quite like Charlie. Charlie is one of the greatest guys I ever played with, yes, but I've played with guys like that, and you would look at them and say, it's not your fault. And they're looking at you like, I shouldn't have gotten hurt at this time. I said, well, you really don't have any control over that. It's like Ronald Acuna. You do your ACL or Chipper Jones did it in his rookie year, basically his first year before his rookie season. He's innocently running down the first baseline, doesn't even get hit, and that knee pops, and he's out for the year. And, Sure, it hurts the team, but it's nothing that was his fault.
Right. Tonight they got game 2 going. AJ Minter got the win last night. Tonight you got Freed on the mound. He's been pretty solid. Are you expecting?
I love Freed.
Yeah. Are you expecting him to just I guess keep bringing the fire?
Yeah, he had such a good streak. I want to say maybe the 1st of August to the rest of the season where he was just lights out. Then he had a couple of hiccups there, which you can expect. I don't think it's any indication of where we're at right now. I think he's the perfect guy on the mound for the Braves because down the stretch he was really the ace of the team, if you ask me.
He was that, and unfortunately gave up 5 runs in one of the losses to the Dodgers. And that was the last time he was out there, but there's always that stick of like I got to get back out there. I got to make up for that loss. Just hope that they don't catch him early. With the loss,
anybody can give up 5 runs to the Dodgers,
right.
And then when you're in a World Series, when you're down to the final 2 teams, I don't think there's any lineup or any pitching staff that you would say, "Oh, this is a day off. It's a day at the beat." No, of course these are the 2 best teams in baseball.
Right.
It's going to be hard. You've got a tough lineup there for Houston. When I see a guy like Gurriel, who was the batting champion, batting 7th in the lineup for Houston, I don't need to look any further. That tells me everything I need to know.
Right, they've got the bats to hurt you, regardless of who's going to be on the mound. And let's talk about that for a second here before we let you go. Obviously, with the injury to Charlie Morton, now what does this do to Snitker's strategy of later in the series? Are we going to have to start putting together bullpen games here? Are we going to see him? You think he'll move Tyler Matzik to start a game?
Well, I think it's a different era, obviously, than when I played. I mean, the starting pitching was, the premium. If you lost starting pitcher, you might write yourself off. You might be able to do it with 2, 3 guys, and we saw that with Arizona, how they rolled through the postseason with Randy Johnson, remember back in the day, and Kurt Schilling, and they had to have one more win out of another guy. In today's game, I think I saw a stat right now where the relievers might be throwing more innings than the starting pitchers are. I've never seen starting pitchers pulled so early in games like they have been now, but it's because everybody has a stacked bullpen. That was never the case before either. You got guys coming in from the bullpen that, can really pick you up versus – back in the day, you had a couple of good relievers. You tried to get to those couple guys at the back of the bullpen, and your starting pitcher was the guy that tried to do it for you, tried to go them 6, 7 innings. Tommy Glavine won 8 innings in our win in 1995. That's the only difference I see now. The bullpen is so much more important than it was before.
All right, joining us again on the program here, 1996 World Series champion with the Atlanta Braves, Mark Lemke. It's great to touch base with you again, Lemmer. And are you into the prediction game? Do you want to give us a prediction on how you think this is going to end up?
Well, I did it before. I predicted Braves winning 4-2. I sent messages to guys. You'll be picking up your rings, radio guys. Hopefully they get rings.
Right.
But I said next Tuesday in Houston. But you win tonight, you might not have to make that trip back to Houston. But I said, even if you do, it'll be worth it. Trust me. That flight back to Atlanta will be awesome.
Oh, absolutely. And I can only imagine the scene there at Truist Park for the World Series game. It's, I go every year for the Red Sox series this down there, and it's always rocking, but I can only imagine what it's going to be like on World Series night.
Oh, what a setup they got now. They got a great setup. I played up there in Boston. I love Fenway Park.
Right.
The energy that flows through Fenway Park without the atmosphere that they have over here at Truist Park is incredible. You walk into Fenway Park, and it's nothing but pure energy and baseball. That's all it is right there at Fenway Park. But,
right.
Boy, the Atlanta Braves got a great setup. I got Freddie Freeman as the MVP of this series. Hopefully it happens. Love my guy, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, he is definitely heart and soul of this team, and he's one of the reasons that I'm pulling for the Braves to win here. I'd love to see him be able to get a ring here, and again, I think everybody is just kind of upset that Ronald Acuna can't be a part of it on the field, but he's still hanging around the team. He's still bringing that energy for his teammates as well. It's a fun group that they got, and Limmer, we'll touch base with you maybe later on in the series.
All right, sounds good. And say hello to all the Braves fans up in Asheville, North Carolina.
Absolutely. All right, Mark Lemke, 1996 World Series champion. Thank you again, brother, for taking the time out with us. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and, of course, streamed live on YouTube, youtube.com/The Sportsocracy. What's going on with Deshaun Watson? We'll give you the latest up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Cold front bringing rain for the end of the business week. Partly cloudy skies for us here this evening and tonight. Cool clouds will increase late as temperatures drop down into low 40s. Rain, cooler and bit breezy as we head through the day Thursday. Temperatures tomorrow reaching highs into low to mid 50s. More rain Thursday night, upper 40s. Cloudy and cool Friday with scattered showers. Highs Friday, mid 50s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound approaching Long Shoals Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume moving well, busy and steady. Hendersonville Road northbound, light delays between Overlook Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, heavy delays after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Smoky Park Highway moving well. Patton Avenue, no incidents reported. And New Leicester Highway moving well. Checking the drive time, 240 westbound between Tunnel Road and I-40. Drive time, 8 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Been thinking about natural biologic therapies to treat your chronic joint pain? Meet Tyler Vale, co-founder of QC Kinetics.
To me, it is such an easy decision. If you are truly looking to avoid surgery and not treat yourself with Band-Aids like steroids and pain meds, then really there is no other option, and that's what I love so much about what I get to do.
QC Kinetics offers a variety of restorative natural options to rejuvenate the tissue in your joints and give you your life back.
When they come back a few months later, and it's so affirming to see their quality of life change in such a positive way.
Are you tired of the joint pain that keeps you from living your best life? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about these exciting restorative and regenerative options.
And you've been looking for an answer, something to avoid surgery. I'm just giving you the answer you've been looking for. QC Kinetics. Kinetics is energy in motion. We want to keep you in motion.
Get your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets on our auto policy at no extra charge, we're making a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. Hear that snoring? 2 sleeping puppies. Oh, they're awake! And they're heading over to that cute chubby baby that's just sitting there. What? Oh, now they're licking his face. Words will never do this justice. You'll just have to picture it.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
There's a hot new podcast we think you'll like. Variety's Strictly Business. Hear candid conversations about business deals, strategy, and the future of media and entertainment from industry A-listers. Hosted by Variety business editor Cynthia Littleton and co-editor-in-chief Andrew Wallenstein. And once a month, executive editor of music Shirley Halperin will join the conversation to discuss the business of music. Listen to Strictly Business on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Sportsocracy.
Hello, everybody. This is good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer. Boy, these boys are smart. You talk about Goofy and the Pet Coon. Let me tell you something. This show is a legitimate slobber knocker.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 The Sports Tank with Sportsocracy. I'm going to get it. The Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. And, of course, streaming on YouTube, youtube.com/The Sportsocracy. Find us on all the social medias. We are readily available for you. And join the comment section here. Adam Black talking about Tyler Matzik. He says he saw Tyler Matzik play his first professional baseball game here in Asheville. Yeah, when he was with the Asheville Tourists. He was a draft pick of the Colorado Rockies and bounced around. It didn't do a whole lot. I mean, he was lighting it up at single A and then finally has found his way and now making a real impact for the Atlanta Braves in the World Series. It's wild how a guy's career trajectory can go. But, you know, it's one of the joys, I think, of being in a market like this, like being in Asheville. You get to see a lot of firsts. It may not be the greatest and most exciting things, but like I saw Shaquille O'Neal's first NBA game. I mean, it was a preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets here at the Asheville Civic Center, now the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. We got to see that. I think LeBron played his first professional game here in a exhibition as well. So yeah, you get to see a lot of cool stuff being here in Asheville. Anyhow, Deshaun Watson not going to be a Carolina Panther.
Nope.
Yeah,
and it was right after you said if Deshaun Watson is traded, he will be traded to the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
Well,
yeah, I KOD'd that, so sorry, Panther fans. I mean, hey, at least it's something that you don't have to deal with. Because, it's going to be a headache for whoever ends up being there. Whatever franchise lands him, it's going to be a problem for a little while. I mean, winning erases a lot of that. But the Carolina Panthers report came out, yes, not long after I said it this morning, that if there was going to be a deal before the trade deadline, the Panthers were the only team that made sense. And then they said, yeah, we're not interested.
Well, the rumor is that they never said they weren't interested. Deshaun Watson told him, I'm not interested in you.
Oh, okay.
That he actually turned down a deal to Carolina. It's seeming more and more like he's just trying to get himself to Miami. Because
he's eliminating every other option. Yeah.
All the reports came out that, he would accept a trade. He's just trying to get out of Houston. Well, everything I've been told, it got down the road a ways with Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And then he threw the brakes on it. No, I don't want to do that. So he's trying to get to Miami. Now the question is, and this is really the summation. All right, we got 6 days. We got 6 days until this comes to a head.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a point where the Miami Dolphins can feel okay with what they give up, knowing they're bidding against themselves? And the Houston Texans can feel like they get enough to eat the dead cap hit, deal with losing their franchise quarterback, and move on from this. Well, that's really the only question left.
Yeah. Well, they were going to lose him anyway.
Yeah, but you can't lose him for nothing. You can control him forever.
No doubt.
With the long-term deal, you have control of this situation. The question is who will blink first.
Well, you have questions on both sides of this. The Houston Texans, they have issues as well. Because, what if this does turn criminal? What if this does turn into something and all of these 22 accusers turn out to be actual criminal charges and then, he ends up having prison time and all that kind of stuff? I get it. It could be far-fetched and may not be in the realm of possibility, but it could go that way.
It hasn't really been entertained up into this point.
Right. So
I can't tell you why. Again, not a lawyer.
Right. But what I'm saying is there is a level of risk on their part too. If we don't make a deal now, it may not be palatable to another franchise to make a deal later if we let this play out.
And that is one reason why I think this gets done.
Mm-hmm.
There is another reason that I think this gets done that we'll talk about after we get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, we always like to use the phrase,
don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. That's right, don't do crimes. In Kentucky, the owner of Hillview Stables in Laurel County is very, very upset, and they are making a plea to the community. As on Sunday night, someone around closing time of the Hillview Stables stole one of their animals. And it wasn't, it wasn't a horse. It wasn't a goat. It was a normal thing that you would expect at a place called Hillview Stables. Somebody stole a baby kangaroo. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably going to be noticed by someone.
I mean, I would think no matter what the animal is that it would be noticed.
I mean, hey, did y'all see Jeffrey? He got a new cat or something. That thing's weird looking though. I don't know what that thing is, but it's kind of cool.
That's a new voice. I've never heard you do that one before.
I feel like, they're making the plea to the community. Anybody give us tips because, obviously the kangaroo, it's a very rare animal in the state of Kentucky. Bluegrass state, not really known for their kangaroos. And apparently the baby kangaroo, who's not even a year old, is one of the favorite stops for visitors to the Hillview Stables. And they say that everybody loves coming here to see little Z-Donk. Yeah, that's its name. They named it Z-Donk. Not sure why.
That's an interesting name.
I mean, it's Kentucky. What do you expect? But he's, little 10 pounds kangaroo. Somebody just, I guess, shoved him under their shirt and took off with him. They're making the plea, though. They want everybody to go out and look for Z-Donk and let us know. They say there's a reward out, $500. You point us to who took Z-Donk, it's $500 in your pocket. I feel like your kangaroo might be worth a little bit more than that. I don't know. I don't know what the going rate is for kangaroos.
I don't either. I've never tried to buy one. I'll call Joe Exotic. He's back in the news. Tiger King 2. It's happening. It's happening. I saw the trailer today.
Although I feel like there might be other crimes involved in this story because the guy said if you return the kangaroo, $500. Or you lead us to the kangaroo, $500. If you bring in the guy who stole the kangaroo, $1,000. That sounds like hillbilly justice. You bring me who stole my kangaroo, I'll give you $1,000.
You bring him here and don't ask any questions.
Anyhow,
a New York art collective announced it will be selling 1,000 Andy Warhol sketches.
Okay.
For $250 a piece.
Okay.
That sounds like a great deal, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You'd think that you're really getting quite the bargain.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one problem. 999 of them are elaborate forgeries. The Brooklyn-based MSCHF Collective announced its Museum of Forgeries project involves a single Andy Warhol sketch titled Fairies and 999 copies made by a machine with an artificially aged paper to match the original. The real artwork was randomly mixed in with the forgeries, so one buyer of a $250 sketch will receive the real deal. Now, I thought this was one of the dumbest things I had ever heard, until I found out how much it was worth. The original is worth $20,000.
Okay.
So the reason that they're doing this is that they're trying to make it clear that great pieces of art and things like that are not just available to the elite. So this is basically a lottery. They're not wanting to call it that. They're adamantly trying to stay away from that. That's exactly what it is. You can call it whatever you want to. You can call the Arby's rib sandwich a McRib. It's not. We will be doing a taste test comparison of those two tomorrow, by the way. I haven't had it yet, so I don't know. I don't know. You know what I know? You know what I know it's not? McRib.
McRib. Mm-hmm. He loves his McRibs.
So good. If you're on the YouTube stream,
Still settled.
The
It's
video
okay.
of our first McRib will be available at 5 o'clock today, right after the show.
Okay.
I thought this was a cool idea, though.
It is.
After I found out why you
That's a
would do
pretty
this.
cool idea.
That's a cool idea that you've got this very expensive piece of art that you can potentially have for $250. Now, here's what I don't know. Do you know which one? Do you know if you have the real one? Like, do they tell you, hey, you got the real one? Or do you have to have it appraised?
I mean, eventually they will. I'm sure once all of the $250 raffles or lotteries or tickets or whatever, once they're all done, I'm sure they will tell the real owner.
See, to me, it would be better if they just never told you.
Well, they will only tell the real owner.
Well, but see, then you know. If you didn't get told, then you know. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Have them appraised and then destroy it. Now you will never know.
Okay.
See, to me, that would be.
Are you? I mean, do you appreciate art? Are you?
What do you mean appreciate it?
Okay, let me put it this way: you buy art and put it in your house if you had the money.
I did. I did it earlier today. You went and picked it up. It was a McRib. It was a little
That's not
cardboard box.
art. Stop that. You know what I mean.
A white receipt tape on top of it that said extra pickles and extra onions.
Right. You know what I mean.
No, I mean, I'm not an art.
I'm not. No.
Now, funny enough, my first business partner was an art dealer. This is a hand to God true story.
Interesting.
I did a run. He was from Florida, but he had lived here.
Mm-hmm.
I took a storage unit worth of art down to Florida for him. Somehow in transit, the tail off a horse that looked very much like Chandler and Joey's horse from Friends. You remember the dog? They called it a dog.
Yeah, it was
a
dog.
horse.
It was a dog.
It was a horse. That was a horse.
That was a giant greyhound, and you know it.
Yeah, it was a horse. This thing looked exactly like it. Well, apparently it got dinged, and he just said, "You can have it."
Oh.
I said, "How much is that worth?" He went about $40,000. I went,
Oh.
Well, looks
even with the chip in it.
I don't know.
And you
I don't know the
and,
answer.
and you sold it?
I'm not at liberty to discuss.
He sold it. You did exactly what I would have done and sold that thing.
I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Stephen Tao in the comments on the YouTube stream says the sketch. So is the original sketch worth more than $25,000? Then just buy all the other ones, and then you'll have it.
The original's worth $20,000. They'll be selling all of the tickets together worth $25,000.
Yeah, so you'd be $5,000
I mean,
in
if
the
you
hole.
really wanted it, then you could just buy them all, and hey, I beat your stupid little game.
Yeah, I've got an
Now,
original Warhol.
Now, and if you wanted to do crimes, of which, okay,
Don't do crimes. Yeah.
you could buy all of them and then ask which one's the original, and you could sell all the rest of them for $250.
And then, yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that,
No, hold your own raffle at that point for $300.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I learned some stuff when I was a kid, but I might have learned some stuff when I was a kid.
Right. It's just, to me, it's funny, the things that people collect. Like, some people are into art. They collect art. You know, Steven says he's into old movie posters, which is cool. Like, original run movie posters. That's a cool thing to have. You know, some others are into, baseball cards and stuff like that.
Well, there are certain things that people collect that I just don't understand. I've never understood coin collections. Like, why? Oh, this is a 1984 quarter. It's worth 29 cents. You're playing the long game here, right?
I don't know, man. Some of those coins are worth a whole lot of money.
That and stamps. I've never understood
stamps are stupid.
I do not. I don't understand.
I'm sorry, stamps are stupid. That's one that I just can't get behind. It's art too. No, it's not. They were printed by the billions. Elvis stamps. Like, my dad had Elvis stamps. He was collecting all those commemorative,
Well, here's what I'll tell you. If you had bought, and I'm pretty sure this is crimes. We have several people that work for the post office that listen for us. They could at Jay Greene ESPN on Twitter.
Oh, no.
If you had bought Forever stamps like 10 years ago, you could be running quite a hustle right now. Because they are drastically more expensive than when I left the post office.
Okay. The
I had
price.
to buy stamps the other day.
Again? I feel like you did this not too long ago, and you're like, I don't know. I bought a bunch of stamps just in case the next time I need stamps. And then, so what, you lost the stamps, and now you had to buy more?
I bought 20 last time, and I used one, and, well, I moved.
Yeah, and you lost them. Yeah.
Can you not just sell me one?
So Jeremy's going $20 average for one stamp.
Can you not just sell me one?
This is what's keeping the U.S. Postal Service afloat right now, is that people keep losing their stamp books and have to buy $20 a piece.
I need, how much for a stamp? I will pay you a quarter more for that one.
Right.
To not get 19 more.
Right. It says forever on it. How much is forever? Like, what's that worth to you? 35 cents? 50 cents?
Well, based on my marriage record, forever doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Okay.
That's the winner. That's the winning comment of the week.
Sometimes,
Yep.
I felt like I should do it before you did.
I mean, I wished I'd have thought of it, but I didn't.
That's what happens when you get heckled enough times. You become pretty quick-witted.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Self-deprecating humor is always fun.
It's actually what we're built on here. It's really what one of the walls in the studio is built
Pretty
on.
true.
Self-deprecating humor.
All right, so apparently Stephen Ross has already signed off on a deal here.
Oh, the trade conversation's done.
Yeah, they've already agreed to the compensation for Deshaun Watson. The Miami Dolphins know what they are going to give up or what they're willing to give up for Deshaun Watson. There's one little bugaboo.
They want all of the cases to be solved and resolved.
And that's beautiful. I mean, I would like to, be able to do a lot of things in my life that I probably shouldn't say on this radio show. But I can't. And guess what, Dolphins? You can't have it your way either. This ain't Burger King. I feel like there's a lot of people involved that need to do a lot of heavy lifting in the next 6 days to make this happen before the trade deadline.
And it's going to, and I'll tell you why.
You think so?
Because Tua Tagovailoa's quote today.
What did he say?
He was asked about the Deshaun Watson thing.
Okay.
The first words out of his mouth, I don't feel wanted. That's a problem.
Oh, it's a problem
when you're starting. Now, granted, then he defended Chris Greer and said, I really feel like they want me to be the quarterback of this team. That's not what you said. What you said was, I do not feel wanted. And that makes me feel.
I think he's talking about the fan base.
To be honest with you, I don't care what he was talking about.
Okay.
Because that kind of negativity, there's just so many things happening with the Dolphins right now. The Dolphins are, this is kind of funny for me.
Mm-hmm.
So before the season, I compared the Chicago Bears to the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
Now I feel like the Miami Dolphins are headed right down the path of doing the exact same thing that the Chicago Bears are doing. You're going to embolden a GM and a front office that you don't have. I mean, they got 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel.
Right.
So you're going to entrust them to give up all these draft picks to bring in the franchise quarterback, and then you're going to fire them? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you've backed yourself into this corner.
Mm-hmm.
This is these Dolphin-Texan negotiations. This should be a life lesson for many people. Loose lips sink ships. And somewhere in this, there has been a very loose set of lips that likes to talk a lot. Because everything that's happened in these negotiations have been just out here for us all to consume. And whether it's the Texans or the Dolphins, I don't know.
Right.
The Jared Goff thing happened. Nobody knew. There was no heads up that it was coming. It just broke on ESPN one day like, well, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, but that wasn't a long-term thing, though, was it?
2 weeks.
It was a 2-week thing?
2 full weeks.
Okay.
Nobody got the first wind of it.
Right.
Matthew Stafford flew to L.A. and had dinner with Sean McVay, and nobody saw it. Every time there's been a text message sent between Houston and Miami, it's been posted on Twitter.
Right.
That tells me one of you has quite a leaky front office.
Mm-hmm. But then that puts Miami in a real spot here.
Well, they're in a spot. We're officially here.
Mm-hmm.
He has made it very clear. I don't want to go anywhere else. You sat around and let your fan base get excited about this or not, or whatever it is. So now you're going to have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I do think this deal gets done in the next 6 days.
Yeah. I don't know if you can reach that point. I mean, if they say they're out and they want all of this resolved, I don't know. I don't know that can happen. I mean, you following the other side of this with, the lawyers for the accusers and stuff, they've stood by and said there will be no settlement, that they don't want a settlement. I mean, maybe that's all just palaver and, money wins out in the end. Who knows? It's going to be real interesting to watch over the next couple of days. We got 6 days before the trade deadline. November the 2nd is the day that everything's got to happen by. And if it doesn't happen by then Houston Texans are stuck. They got no way to move Deshaun Watson until all of this blows over. And the Miami Dolphins are stuck with a rookie quarterback or a second-year quarterback who doesn't believe that he has the faith and the backing of not only the Miami Dolphins faithful, but the front office as well. I mean, Stephen Ross has already signed off on it. So the owner has already said, you're not our choice. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It's time for something to chew on with Caleb Peak.
We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Will Smith will try to close it out. Braves leading 6-2.
1-1. Altuve goes. Ground ball out to Ozzie. Boots it, picks it up, throws to first base. And deep in the heart of Texas, the Braves have taken game one. They are 3 wins away from a World Series championship.
I'm not celebrating yet. This is Chew on That, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. I'm Caleb Peak, and I'm not celebrating because the job is far from finished. I know I've been talking a lot of baseball lately on this part of the show, 3 out of the last 4 weeks, actually, but you'll just have to forgive me. As we speak, the neutral, objective baseball analyst within me is clashing hard with the deep-seated fanaticism I hold for my Atlanta Braves, who have finally returned to the World Series after 22 long years. They've been in the Fall Classic a total of 4 times over the course of my life so far, but this is the first time I've been old enough to remember it. But I've got to say, I've noticed a trend when it comes to the fandom surrounding Major League Baseball. Braves fans seem to be the only baseball lovers who don't have to explain why they're Braves fans. Growing up in Western North Carolina, one of my closest friends in school pulled for the New York Yankees, and he caught incessant grief over it, including from yours truly. Why, I would ask him, are you on the Yankees bandwagon? I came to find out that, surprise, surprise, he wasn't actually a fan of the Yankees. He was just a fan of the brand. When things were going well in the Bronx, the Yankees hat would be on. When the Yankees weren't doing so hot, that iconic New York logo baseball cap would vanish. Now, that's not to say all Yankees fans are bandwagoneers. I'm sure you've got your reasons for pulling for the pinstripes. But for Atlanta Braves Nation, it's a little different. Let me explain. It may be true that the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and even the Braves to a certain extent, they've all got a national following to some degree or another. You can find fans of these teams in any state in the union and even overseas. But when I say Braves country, what comes to mind? You may own a Braves jersey, and you may, in fact, be rooting for the Bravos to beat Houston over the next 10 days. But that doesn't necessarily make you part of Braves country. Don't get me wrong, we're all inclusive. We welcome any well-meaning newcomers to the party at Truist Field. But to be a true resident of Braves country, it's got to be something you're born with. See, Braves country covers a little more territory than just greater Atlanta. It stretches far beyond the northern Georgia corners of Dillon and Dalton, and it supersedes the southern pass-through of Valdosta. No, Braves country is the only true catch-all in a region that's normally bitterly divided over our college football preferences. Have you noticed the conversation around a couple of key guys in the Atlanta club, Austin Reilly and Dansby Swanson? Both are born and bred members of Braves country, with Reilly hailing from South Haven, Mississippi, and Swanson, the number 1 pick by the Diamondbacks in 2015, living the majority of his young life in Kennesaw, Georgia. Which 2 jerseys, with the exception of Freddie Freeman, are you most likely to see in the stands when the World Series goes back to Hotlanta for Game 3? Yep, Reilly and Swanson. It also doesn't hurt that Dansby's a 27 home run hitter as a shortstop, and Reilly's bat work in the offseason with the one and only Chipper Jones has turned him into an absolute force. But just listen to Austin Reilly giving any kind of interview. He oozes Southern culture. He drips Mississippi. That's the thing that's so endearing about Austin Reilly, even more so than Dansby Swanson. He sounds like most Braves fans. He acts like most Braves fans. He keeps a low profile and shows a work ethic that speaks for itself. just like most blue-collar, red-blooded Braves fans. And both of those guys, not to mention Brian Snitker with 44 years of service to the Atlanta organization, are well aware of how much another Commissioner's Trophy would mean to Braves country. I'll tell you how much a Braves World Series title would mean to me. It would be the closure I never got. Throughout my childhood, I would spend days upon days at a time with my grandmother while the rest of my family went about their lives. And during the summer months, the Atlanta Braves were always on whenever they were playing. My grandma didn't get excited for very much in her life, but when they were on TV, both of us would just sit there, locked into the action. "Come on, boys," she would say over and over again. It got to the point that I was convinced Javi Lopez, Eddie Perez, Greg Maddux, Chipper, Andrew, and company could actually hear her through the television, because they always seemed to respond when Granny asked them to. We lost my grandmother in 2011, when I was a junior in high school. We all knew it was coming, but one day she was sitting at home in her recliner watching another regular season of baseball draw to a close. The next, she was receiving hospice, and not long at all after that, she was gone. She was able to watch the Braves win 11 divisional titles in a row, 5 pennants, and the whole thing back in '95. But I never got to celebrate a World Series win with her. I know there's nothing I could have possibly done about that, but it's something that's always bothered me a little bit, especially since I was never able to give her a proper goodbye. That's my Atlanta Braves story, and there are at least a million others just like it. But if you ever wonder why Braves fans take their team so seriously every single year, just remember that for us, it goes deeper than just geography. And after last night, we're beginning to smell blood. I'm Caleb Peak. That's something to chew on.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Boulevard Road northbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. Traffic is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road, light delays. Sweden Creek Road southbound, heavy delays after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. On the Charlotte Highway, no problems or backups reported. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
From the DuckDuckGo for Privacy Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Liberty. Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of East Tennessee State University Athletics. Drink different, drink responsibly.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage, and should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
The Cantina Crispy Melt Taco from Taco Bell has a premium shell made from white corn and a hidden layer of real mozzarella, pepper jack, and cheddar cheeses. And now you're craving one, because when you need a taco, you need a taco. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only.
Hear that? That's the sound of a man guarding his home around the clock. Because he has 24/7 professional monitoring from SimpliSafe Home Security. With 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe keeps watch night and day. If there's trouble, SimpliSafe alerts him and will dispatch emergency help when needed. Protect your home and your sleep. Take 30% off a new system at simplysafe.com today.
O'Reilly. Are your wiper blades chattering, skipping, or squeaking? Don't let streaks or smearing on your windshield compromise your visibility. When it's time to replace your wiper blades, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and see our selection. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades while you wait. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene, welcome back into the Sportsocracy, not only here on the radio, but also on YouTube. Now we encourage everybody to hop on over to the YouTube stream, get involved in the comment section. That's the best way to have instant contact with the program here.
We have a sweet little, what do they call it, Easter egg? Is that the thing that they put in the end of movies? Yeah, we got one of those tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I will give, I give no things.
Yeah. But he won't even give clues to me, and I'm the host of the show.
Yep. See, I don't do that. No, that's the beauty of my little control room over here, is that I don't have to tell anybody anything.
He just gets to do things. He just gets to do it. We found out that it's not just Devontae Adams and not just Alan Lazard. Joe Barry, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, not going to be able to make the trip to Arizona because of the coronavirus protocols.
Also, no T.J. Watt, or not T.J., no J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt, night. Yep.
So basically, Thursday Night Football will be brought to you by Wish. Yes, it will be the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Kind of. I do love this story. So apparently your Jets made a trade, so Mike White doesn't have to start any games anymore. Yeah, he does. He's starting this Sunday.
Yeah, because Joe Flacco is not joining the team until Friday?
Joe Falco. He was meant to be a backup. Here's the thing. We gave up a 6th-round pick for a player that I think you could have replicated in any waiver claim you made. Thanks, Joe Douglas. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm excited to see Joe Flacco.
He has not joined the team yet. Will join the team on Friday, but will be inactive for Week 8. So you're going to have Mike White again starting at quarterback.
And Josh Johnson. I don't care if we're a 30-point dog. Take it, because we play the Cincinnati Bengals, who were much higher in our power rankings this morning than one would think. If you'd like to see that, go to youtube.com/sportsocracy, and you can see all of our team rankings for Week 8 in the NFL.
And join us tomorrow morning in the Sportsocracy at 10 a.m. It's Threadbare Thursday. That's where we answer all your questions, talk about what you want to talk about on a Thursday. Plus, we'll have the latest news and views. We'll have, Jeremy will let me mention that the Braves won or lost last night, and that's about the best baseball coverage you're going to get.
Mark Lemke. He was fantastic.
Mark
Lemke was great.
Yeah, thank you again to Mark for taking the time out for us. We will be catching up with him later on in the series as this goes back to Atlanta after these first 2 games in Houston. That coming up tonight, Game 2, right here on ESPN Asheville at 7 o'clock. Until tomorrow morning, be good.
This is